Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the class. See, in the last video, we had discussed about what is the difference between congruent figures and similar figures, especially since we are discussing about triangles. So, we clearly discussed about congruent triangles and similar triangles. Okay, so now let us see uh, how can we check whether the given triangles are congruent or not. Okay, ma'am. So in order to decide in order to decide the congruency of two triangles, it is sufficient to verify it is sufficient to verify three pairs of verify three pairs of particular parts are equal. I mean, parts are nothing but, I told you now already, three angles and three sides, together six components or six parts. Now if you want to decide whether the two given triangles are congruent or not, then we have to check at least three pairs of that particular parts are equal or not. So that's what we discussed like this in the form of some axioms. Yes, 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 isn't it? Yes, yes. See, two sides, one angle, or two angles, one side, or all the three are sides, isn't it? So finally, three particular parts are equal, then we can say that those two triangles are congruent to each other. So now let us see first of all what is SAS axiom. SAS axiom. See here itself, side, angle and side. So look at this, the statement of SAS axiom. Two triangles are congruent if and only if two sides and the included angle of one triangle are equal to the corresponding sides and the included angle of the other. I mean, for example, see, let us consider two triangles. Say suppose this is triangle ABC, and now let it be the other triangle PQR. Okay, now look at the statement very clearly. These two triangles are congruent if and only if two sides, I mean say suppose side AB should be equals to side PQ because corresponding side, and suppose side BC must be equals to side QR. Okay, if and only if two sides and the included angle of these two sides, the included angle is nothing but here angle B, and here which is nothing but angle Q. So see here clearly AB is equals to PQ. Okay, here, and BC which is equals to QR, and angle ABC is equals to angle PQR. So first one is clearly this is side, isn't it? This is also side, and this is nothing but angle. Okay, so two sides and the included angle of two triangles are equal, then both the triangles are said to be congruent to each other. I mean, therefore I can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Okay, since here two sides and one angle is including, that's why this axiom can be treated as SAS axiom. Okay, so three parts. What are the three parts? Two sides and one angle. Now let us see what is ASA axiom. See, ASA, two angles and one side. So coming to the statement, same thing, just you need to change the word side and angle. See, two triangles are congruent if and only if two angles, earlier two sides, no, now it is two angles, and the included side of one triangle, included side of one triangle. See, for example, this is the way. Now two angles, no, angle B is equals to angle Q, say angle A is equals to angle P, and the included side is nothing but AB, which is equals to PQ. So see, two angles, yes, angle B and angle A are equals to the corresponding angles, and the included side of one triangle. So these two angles are included in the side of AB only, no, equals to the corresponding angles and the included side of the other triangle. Then the two triangles can be treated as congruent. And what we can say here now, see, suppose these are the two triangles, and what we can say here, angle ABC is equals to angle PQR, and even angle BAC or CAB also you can take, BAC which is equals to angle QPR, and moreover the included side AB which is equals to QP, right? Angle, angle and included side, that's why ASA. So then I can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Two corresponding angles and the side included them are equal, then both the triangles are congruent to each other. Coming to yes axiom, very simple, triple S, all the three sides. So look at the statement, ma. Two triangles are congruent if and only if three sides of one triangle are equal to the corresponding sides of the other triangle. See, for example, let it be the one of the triangle. Okay, ma? And let this is the other triangle. Say triangle ABC, and this is assume it as triangle PQR, right? So here corresponding three sides of one triangle should be equals to the same corresponding sides of the other triangle. I mean AB should be equals to PQ, BC should be equals to QR, and AC corresponding side PR. Both must be equal. Then we can say that, see here clearly what it is, corresponding sides. AB is equals to PQ, BC is equals to QR, AC is equals to PR. Then because of side, then I can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. See my dear, if we know three sides of a triangle, then the three angles can be found very easily. But the sides cannot be fixed when the three angles are fixed. That's why what I am telling that all equilateral triangles need not to be congruent, but even though their corresponding angles are equal. That's what I am telling you. See here, suppose triangle ABC, which is clearly an equilateral triangle because of all angles are equal, and say suppose all the sides must be equals to 3 units. And let us see, this is the another triangle PQR, which is also an equilateral. Why? Because each and every angle is equals to 60 degrees. And say suppose these sides are 5 units. Now don't think that both are equilateral triangle, then they need not be, isn't it? Some people may think that anyhow both are equilateral triangles, no, they are congruent to each other. Not like that. So if the angles are fixed, but there is no rule that the sides are also fixed. So that is the point which you have to remember. Suppose here, can you say no? Are these two congruent triangles? No, because corresponding sides are not equal. Only corresponding angles are equal. And in this case, these two equilateral triangles can be treated as similar triangles only, but not congruent triangles. That's why, although the angles are fixed, we cannot say that the sides are also fixed. I mean equal. But if the sides are equal, then the angles can be equal, no doubt. That's why all congruent figures are similar, but every similar figure need not to be a congruent figure. Okay, ma? Next. So coming to RHS axiom. This axiom is especially for to prove congruency of two right-angled triangles. So coming to the statement, two right-angled triangles are congruent if and only if hypotenuse and the side of one triangle are equal to the corresponding hypotenuse and the side of another right-angled triangle. I mean, for example, consider let ABC be a right-angled triangle and right angle at B. Also assume that one more triangle, right angle triangle, especially PQR. PQR, better to draw same size, ma. Okay, PQR, because we are talking about congruency, no. So say suppose this angle at Q, angle at Q is a right angle. Now hypotenuse must be equal and the corresponding one side is equal and the right angle. Okay, so we can say that here, because of this right angle, hypotenuse and sides, corresponding parts are equal, hence I can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. And please note that, my dear, RHS axiom is a special case of SAS axiom, isn't it? Of course, here hypotenuse is also one of the side, no? So two sides and one angle. So that's why this axiom can be treated as a special case of SAS axiom. Okay. So by using these axioms, we can prove some statements which are related to triangles. And let us discuss in the form of a theorems. So coming to that, theorem number 1. Look at the statement. In a triangle, the angles opposite to equal sides are equal. In a triangle, see, for example, assume that this is the triangle. Okay, say triangle ABC. In a triangle, what we need to prove? The angles opposite to equal sides. Say suppose AB is equals to AC. Then AC opposite angle is angle B and AB side opposite angle is angle C. I mean, provided that AB is equals to AC, we have to prove that their opposite angles, that is angle B, is equals to angle C. Okay, ma. Now coming to proof. Okay, first of all, write it what is given. Given in triangle ABC, what is given? That AB is equals to AC, isn't it? Given that the sides are equal. And what we need to prove? Required to prove the angles, angle B is equals to angle C. So for this, let us construction. What we need to construct here, please draw the perpendicular from A to BC and see that it is intersecting at some X. Okay, so what is the construction? Draw AX bar which is perpendicular to BC. Understood, ma? Right. Now coming to proof. Yes, now after construction of this perpendicular line, now we divided the entire triangle into two triangles. So one is in triangle AXB and triangle AXC. Look at these two triangles. Is it not triangle 1 and this is triangle 2? In this triangle 1 and triangle 2, look at already what I can say that AB is equals to AC. given already this side is equals to this side. Why? Because these are equal means this is already a given statement. And see, AX is equals to AX. Why? Because AX is the common side for both the triangles. So since it is the common side of both the triangles, right children? Then and what about angle at x here? See, angle AXB, which is a right angle, even angle AXC is also right angle since 90 degrees. Now because of right angle, so this is a right angle and this is nothing but AB and AC is nothing but hypotenuse and this is nothing but sides. So I can say that by RHS congruency axiom, okay ma, because of right angle, hypotenuse and side, RHS congruency axiom, I can say that a triangle AXB is congruent to triangle AXC. Both the triangles are congruent to each other. Then if both the triangles are congruent to each other, then their corresponding parts are equal. So the corresponding part of BX will be XC. Hence I can say that therefore BX is equals to XC actually, isn't it? And therefore I can also say that their corresponding angles are also equal, no? Corresponding parts in the sense sides as well as angles. So I can say that angle B is equals to angle C, and these two are equal because of CPCT, corresponding parts of congruent triangles. Now look at the theorem number 2, which is the converse of the theorem 1. So earlier given that corresponding sides are equal, then we proved that means the angles which are opposite to the equal angles are equal sides are equal. Now the statement is reverse. I mean the sides opposite to the equal angles are also equal. Understand? Earlier if sides are equal, then their opposite angles are equal. That is statement number 1, theorem number 1. Now theorem number 2 is if particular angles are equal, then see that their opposite sides are equal. So that's why I named it as a converse of T1. So just the reverse process of previous one. So now in this triangle ABC, now what is given? Not sides are equal, given that angles are equal. Angle B is equals to angle C. And we have to prove that sides are must equal, that is AB is equals to AC, right ma? So same process, once again draw the perpendicular AX to BC. So once again that perpendicular dividing the original triangle into two triangles, one is AXB, another one is AXC. So in this, look at now, what is that? In this already given angle B is equals to angle C, which is already given. These two angles are equal. And what can you say about angle AXB and which is equals to angle AXC? Both are equal. Because of this perpendicular, then each of this angle is equals to 90 degrees. And also I can say that AX side AX, which is equals to again AX, because which is the common side again, common side. Hence, see, angle, angle, side. So I can say that by AAS, by angle, angle, side, or ASA also you can. Congruency axiom, I can say that both the triangles are congruent to each other. Now I don't want this corresponding angle, because this concept already given, no, he itself given in the statement that angles are equal. Therefore now not this part, no. If these angles are equal, I can say that AB is equals to AC. Sides opposite to the equal angles are also equal. Okay. Coming to the theorem number 3. Look at the statement. Every point on the perpendicular bisector of a line segment are equidistant from endpoints on line segment. Endpoints of line segment. I mean, this is the concept. Say suppose A and B are the endpoints of a line segment. Okay, and draw a perpendicular. Say suppose this is a line. Say L is the perpendicular. Okay, ma. And perpendicular at say some M, L and M. Okay. Now every point on this perpendicular will be equidistant. Suppose if it is the point is here, say suppose P is the point. Now P is equidistant from the endpoints of a line segment. I mean PA should be equals to PB. This is the concept. Okay, so not only P, here I mentioned that P which is equidistant from both A and B. If suppose say this is the point Q, then no doubt Q is also equidistant from both AB. And suppose this is R, then R also equidistant from both endpoints of the given line segment. Right? So look at that. How to prove that now? We have to prove clearly PA is equals to PB. Fine. So first of all, write a hypothesis. What is that? Say some L is the perpendicular bisector of line segment AB. Okay. What we have to prove, or required to prove? Required to prove is nothing but PA is equals to PB. Right? Okay. Yes. You know, because of perpendicular bisector means the line which divides the entire line segment into two equal parts. I mean this part is equals to this part. AM is equals to MB. Okay. So coming to proof, since L is the perpendicular bisector of AB, I can say that AM is equals to MB. Okay. Now finally this perpendicular bisector divides into two triangles here. So coming to from triangle PMA and triangle PMB. Okay. Now we have to prove that these two triangles are congruent to each other. How can we prove that? So just now we got, first of all, AM is equals to MB. Very clear, because M is the midpoint of, why? Because M is the midpoint of AB. Midpoint of AB. Fine. And look at this angle, angle PMA. Angle PMA, which is equals to angle PMB. Because of perpendicular bisector, these two angles are equals to 90 degrees. 90 degrees. Okay. And PM is common, no, for both triangles. PM is equals to PM. Why? Because common side. Common side. Yeah, see, side, angle, side. So any corresponding three parts are equal, then we can say that those two triangles are congruent to each other. So I can say that by SAS similarity criterion or simply axiom, I can say that a triangle PMA is congruent to triangle PMB. Therefore, I can say that PA is equals to PB because of CPCP. Isn't it? Those two triangles are congruent to each other, then their corresponding parts are equal. Hence proved. In the same way, we can also prove the converse of this one. So, which is nothing but theorem number 4, which is converse of previous one, theorem 3. And look at the statement, the points which are equidistant, the points which are equidistant distance from endpoints of line segment will be on its perpendicular bisector. Will be on it perpendicular bisector. You can try it, same as the previous one. Just you have to prove it in a reverse manner. Okay. Coming to theorem number 5. Every point on angular bisector of an angle are equidistant from its arms. So say suppose certain angle, and let it be the angular bisector. Okay. Say suppose P is a point on angular bisector. Draw the perpendicular from P to the both the arms. Let it be, say, some O. Say this is A and this is B. Okay. So we have to say that the point on the angular bisector will be at equidistance from its arms. right? So look at my dear, because of this is angular bisector, this angle is equals to this angle. And clear now? This is the perpendicular and this is also the perpendicular, right? Say, suppose this is already we considered P, let it be X and this is Y. In X, O, Y, what is given? In say this is the L, suppose. So in angle Y O X O L ray is the angular bisector. Okay, ma? And what we have to prove that? Required to prove nothing but statement only. Every point on angular bisector, write the statement as it is. And coming to construction part, let P be a point on the angular bisector. P be a point on the angular bisector and draw PA perpendicular to OY, comma PB perpendicular to OX. Okay. So coming to proof. See, there are two triangles now. From triangle PAO and triangle PBO. Actually, we have to prove that PA is equals to PB. Is it no equidistance? And PA and PB are the corresponding sides of these two triangles. But we don't know that whether they are congruent or not. If you can prove that those two triangles are congruent, hence we can say that their corresponding parts are equal. So that's why, see here my dear, first of all I can mention that OP is equals to OP, which is a common side. Okay. And moreover, angle AOP or POA, which is equals to angle POB, because of angular bisectors, no? And moreover, angle PAO, right angle, which is equals to angle PBO. This is also 90 degrees. And this is because of angular bisectors. So equal angles. Now see, first one is a side and rest of them are angles. So what I can say that by AAS congruency axiom, I can say that a triangle PAO is congruent to triangle PBO, isn't it? Therefore, PA is equals to PB, isn't it? PA is equals to PB because of corresponding parts of congruent triangles. In the same way, you can also try its converse. Okay, ma? So see how these congruency axioms are useful in some standard results of triangles. Okay. Thank you. Please go through the congruency axioms once again. Thank you everybody.